Alright, we are back. Right now you're looking at the model rendered with the Shilul shader. I'm still not 100% sure how to pronounce that. And it's got the diffuse, the normals, and the specular map on there. Um, so as you can see, I'm rendering this in real time, and it's captured pretty much all the geometry from the real one. The specular map was generated using Crazy Bump. I forgot to record that, but if you really need me to show you how to use Crazy Bump to create a specular map, just let me know. What I just showed there was a very bad artifact underneath the underarm, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it. This is one way to fix it would to be to make a cage, like I said in the previous video, but sometimes you just really don't want to make a cage, and something like this can be smeared off. The way I like to do it is just using the smudge tool and just blending colors from around there to like make it unnoticeable. And also there's a lot of different methods for doing this, but I just like to use the smudge tool to save time. I'm just going to name this norm PSD, so any changes I do to this from now on, it'll just automatically update in the max file. So go down here, change the normal to my new norm, and you see it's a little bit less visible. The reason it's still visible is because the specular map was generated from those normal maps. So in order for me to fix the spec, I'd probably have to generate a new specular map. But looking around, and I see another artifact that I can smudge out. From the looks of it, this is taking place around the arm. Yeah, this is on the actual part of the arm. So I'm gonna smudge this out too, and see if I get any better results. And seems to fix a little bit, yeah. So I'm happy with that. Reason I'm not stressing about it big time is because it's just an armpit, you know. We're not going to spend a lot of time checking out this guy's pits. And let's see what else there is that we can fix. So yeah, keep in mind just if you're going to use the smudge method that I use, um, to blend colors that make sense. Don't take like a really don't take the normal blue color and then just drop it anywhere. Okay, so what we have here now is the ambient occlusion map that I baked before we left last time. And as you can see, areas like underneath the armpit or between the legs, they're really, really dark. So what I do is I take this, put it over the diffuse, and set the ambient occlusion layer to multiply so that it'll carry those shadows over the diffuse. And just like the normal map, it has a few problems here, so I'm just going to try to smudge those out. That artifact right there is on the crotch, but just going to smudge it out real quick because it's bugging me. Again, we're probably not going to see the crotch at all, but that's just annoying. And let's see what else we can fix. Yep, there's one underneath the arm. Gonna smudge this out real quick. Alternatively, especially since this is actually do this with the normal map too. You could choose a color and paint over it. Although you might want to be careful with the normal map until you like actually know how normal maps work. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But with ambient occlusion maps, since it's just grayscale, you could grab a gray brush and dub over it. So here's our new and improved diffuse map. As you can see, it has more detail, but it kind of has a little bit too much detail. Areas that are facing the light are going to remain constantly dark. So instead of just slapping this on there like a lot of people tend to do, I'm just going to make a copy of it and mess around with it in Photoshop. So press a Control U and changing it to colorize mode. I'm going to try to change it to something that matches the hue that I'm going for. So since this guy is supposed to be kind of Middle Easternish, I'm gonna go for orange, no, not orange, brownish hue. So I set it to orange just to make sure I'm on the right track and desaturate that and lighten it up too so that the armpit areas aren't so freaking dark. and then desaturate it so that he's not orangey to the point where it's noticeable, just orange to where like it looks natural. See that? That's too much. So I'm gonna add a little bit more red to that and drop it down a little bit and see how that looks. See, comparing and contrasting, it looks a lot better in my opinion. It looks more natural. So save that out and check in here, and he looks really red now. I mean, better than before, but man, that's kind of annoying. So what we're gonna do is jump back into Photoshop and just desaturate this layer by a little bit more. Still wanted to retain some color information, but not to the point where he looks that freaking red. So there we go. Save that out, and there we go. Much better. And it's the little things that make a huge difference. So that's pretty much it for the tutorial. I showed you how to put a high poly and a low poly mesh into X normal, generate maps, unwrap the low poly mesh. Obviously, I'm not saying this in order, but you get the gist of the process. Hopefully, this will make your life easier. Let me know if you have any questions or if this helped you out. You are definitely free to share these videos for educational purposes, but if you make any money off of them, that's wrong. Don't do that. Um, and that's it for today. Hopefully I can come back soon and make some more tutorials out to help friends. Also, quick thing. What I just did there is I went to edit poly mode and click preserve UVs. The reason I did that is sometimes you might want to optimize your final mesh a little bit more, and that's a quick way to do it. So make sure to preserve UVs are checked if you're trying to do that. But other than that, that's it for today. See you later.